We need to work on our side, and working on our side is fighting, pushing back, and proving that the army that was told to be second strongest in the whole world turned out to be second strongest just in Ukraine.
But I just want to turn your attention now to Ukraine. There were a series of explosions yesterday in the separatist run city of Donetsk in eastern Ukraine. The exact details aren't clear, but its Russian backed mayor has said at least 13 people were killed there. Now, of course, Donetsk has been controlled by Russia's proxy authorities since 2014. Elsewhere, though, Ukrainian forces have continued to claim success in regaining territory from Russia. Well, earlier I caught up with the Ukrainian MP Kira Rudik. Kira, thanks for joining us today. Yesterday, we witnessed a historic day in British history with the state funeral for Queen Elizabeth II. Now, the funeral service was attended by Elena Zelenska, the wife of the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, and she's since described it as a great honour to attend the funeral on behalf of all Ukrainians. Mrs. Zelenska also said the Queen's attention to Ukraine was an important signal of support. What are your thoughts?
We felt devastated. We felt both huge support and love and condolences that we would like to share with our allies, our brothers and sisters in the United Kingdom, because we do understand what Queen Elizabeth meant to them, and we do understand what kind of loss it is. It's like losing a symbol of the nation, not only political symbol, but a symbol of dignity, a symbol of how the duty could be most important, a symbol of how to act during the hard times. And this is why there were so many flowers near the UK embassy in Kiev. You know, we do know that the Queen, with her role, is not supposed to make a political stance. But in May, when there was such a hard time in Ukraine, she went on one of the events wearing yellow coat with blue flowers, and we've got the message. This is how truly unique way of showing solidarity works, and we do remember it, and we will always remember the support that she was giving to Ukrainian people, and we are mourning with you guys. Honestly, in Ukraine, Queen is also a feministic symbol, because I do remember how I was speaking to the teenage girls who want to join the politics, and they asked how would they become a queen, and I said, like, well, there is no way. The only way that you can and like all queens grandchildren are already taken. So the only way that you can get the leadership position is to be elected as president. And they said, okay, then we'll be working to be elected as president of Ukraine. And I think this is a fantastic motivation, because it shows that women can be at the leadership positions. And she was basically showing that for the last almost 100 years. And this is fantastic. She has seen so much, all the changes in the world, and she has taken it with the huge understanding of obligation, how the Queen should behave. And again, it's a great example for all of us.
Kira, just talk us through how crucial the counteroffensive is currently in Ukraine against Russian military action, because, of course, we're heading rapidly towards winter months.
Look, the strategy is to regain as much territories as possible, to liberate them before the winter hits, for two reasons. First, because it would be impossible to fight during the winter, both from our side and Russian side, but also it will be easier for us to maintain those territories and to hold them. So this is why right now we are on this desperate counteroffensive, where we are using all our forces, we are using all our resources, and we are using all our morals and support and everything possible and impossible, because this is basically our main turning point in this war. We have been waiting for the news regarding the counteroffensive for the last 6 months. You can imagine what it feels in Ukraine. It is so fantastic. People are so motivated. We know we are not supposed to celebrate, but silently we are celebrating. And we are sending all the love to our army, to our soldiers, to the brave men and women who are literally doing impossible. You see, in the 6 months, many people said that they believe in that we are capable of taking back our territories, but I think we are the only ones who really believe that. And now the whole world sees that they were on the right side. Everybody who supported us actually sees the results of the support. All the pieces of weapon that got to Ukraine, all the finance, all the supplies, all the armies, everything right now is put to use. And I have been saying, give us more weapons and you will see what we can do with that. So now you can see. And now this is another logical reason to give us more weapons, to give us more supplies, because you see what we can do. It's facts, it's truth. It's not our promises. It is the reality. So on the other note, I wish that Queen could have seen that really and be proud about the democracy fighting back. And I want every single person who was supporting Ukraine, sending a message, pushing politicians to send us weapons, sending money, supporting Ukrainian refugees. When you read the news about Ukraine pushing back, about our advances, you need to know that this is our mutual victory. You need to look at the mirror and say, we have done this.
Now, we heard last week about the discovery of some 400 mass graves in Izium after the territory was regained from Russian control. Did that shock you?
You see, we anticipated what we will find on the occupied territories. I have been to Bucha in Irpin on the first day of liberation, and I have seen the dead bodies, the torture rooms, the mass graves. So this is what we are finding in Izium and in other places. All the same. Russians, there were no different Russians in Bucha and different Russians in Irpin. It was the same, with the same strategy and with the same aim to kill Ukrainians just because we exist. This makes us fight harder and push harder and make sure that people do not suffer under the occupation, because right now when we are talking, there are still Ukrainian territories and Ukrainian people who are under the occupation and who are probably murdered and who are probably raped and who are probably humiliated and destroyed. And this is why we do need to end this. We do need to win this war, and we will be pushing to do this. And our soldiers, they are so emotionally involved into that. We know that it means a lot that first they are liberating the territories and people are greeting them and crying and giving them flowers and food and saying, why, what took you so long? But also that makes them go further and further to make more people free.
And before we let you go, Kira, just one other question. We've heard some voices from Russia recently, rather unusually, speaking out against Russia's military action in Ukraine. One of Russia's most popular singers, Alla Pugacheva, has said that the Kremlin's illusionary aims in Ukraine make our country a pariah and the lives of our citizens extremely difficult. Now, she has, as would be expected, since been labelled a foreign agent by Russia. I'm wondering, do you get the sense from what you're hearing that the Russian President Vladimir Putin could possibly be becoming more isolated?
You see, for the last 8.5 years, we have been living under this illusion that Putin will die soon, and then so many things will be resolved. So we can hope, we can pray, but we cannot build our long-term strategy for our country based on hoping that somebody would die soon. And this is why I think we should not count on something happening to him, because he's surrounded by the system that he built that is as corrupt, as imperialistic, and as aimed to destroy Ukraine and its democracy as for himself. So we need to work on our side, and working on our side is fighting, pushing back, and proving that the army that was told to be second strongest in the whole world turned out to be second strongest just in Ukraine.
That was the Ukrainian MP Kira Rudik.